I've always been fascinated by how much history shapes the present. For instance, did you know that the width of standard gauge railway tracks is directly derived from the width of ancient Roman chariot paths?
Really? That's interesting. I've always been more into tech, but I can appreciate the long chain of events that leads to something like that. Speaking of which, did you know that the first computer programmer was a woman?
Oh, absolutely. Ada Lovelace, daughter of Lord Byron. She wrote the first algorithm for Charles Babbage's analytical engine back in the 1800s. It's amazing how far we've come since then.
Yes, and now we have quantum computers on the horizon. It's mind-boggling. But tell me more about the Roman chariot paths. How did they end up influencing modern railway tracks?
Well, the Romans built these extensive road networks with chariots in mind, so the wheels of their chariots created ruts of a certain width. When they paved the roads, they used that width for efficiency. Fast forward to the Middle Ages, and the people building wagons and carriages used the same wheel width so they could travel smoothly on these old Roman roads.
Fascinating. So it's a case of path dependency, where what was done in the past influences what happens in the future. We see that in tech too. Like how the QWERTY keyboard layout was designed to prevent mechanical typewriters from jamming, and now we're stuck with it even though it's not the most efficient layout for modern keyboards.
Exactly. And when they started building railway tracks, they used the same gauge as the wagon and carriage paths to make the transition from road to rail as seamless as possible. It's amazing how these little things from history carry over to today.
It really is. Maybe that's why tech companies are always looking to disrupt things, to break away from those historical paths and find something more efficient.
That's a great point. Maybe we should blend our interests more often. History could learn from tech's innovative spirit, and tech could learn from history's long view.
I think you're right. Here's to blending histories and futures.